In the waiting area, Sungyoon decided to use one of his special question vouchers to ask about something called a floor invasion. The system quickly replied, explaining that floor invasions allowed players to join another person's trial. However, this could only happen after the eighth floor, and it wouldn't work on special or combined trials. Although Sungyoon didn't get all the information he wanted, he was relieved that his voucher wasn't wasted. With time to spare before the next trial, Sungyoon decided to use some items he had brought from Earth. He used a magical box to repair his broken shield, which turned out to be even more effective than he expected. Then he used a cleaning stone to wash up. While the stone had seemed like a waste of money at first, its refreshing effect made it worth every coin. Feeling ready, Sungyoon checked the leaderboard. To his surprise, he had climbed to third place on the fifth floor, jumping up from 16th. This achievement filled him with pride and encouraged him to keep pushing forward. However, when he opened the community chat, he saw chaos. People were arguing about murder, betrayal, and how to gain power by any means necessary. Someone was selling a psychological resistance skill. The post explained that the skill could reduce the emotional shock of murder and betrayal, making it easier to commit such acts. It promised great rewards for those willing to use it. Sungyoon thought, a skill like this? It's like a double-edged sword. It might erase the guilt, but does it really solve the problem? The chat also revealed that a player named Princess Sui had been stirring up trouble. This person had convinced others to fight and betray one another on earlier floors, and many blamed them for the rising tension. Sungyoon made a mental note to remember the name. "I'll keep an eye on you," he muttered. The sixth floor challenge was announced. The goal was to capture a small piece of land called a tile and defend it for 50 minutes. If a player died or ran out of time, they would fail. Sungyoon's teammate didn't show up at first, leaving him to stand alone in the middle of a vast ocean-like floor, surrounded by bridges and portals. Suddenly, a spear shot out of a portal. Sungyoon quickly caught it and pulled the attacker through. To his shock, it was his supposed teammate. "Why are you attacking me?" Sungyoon asked. "Isn't it obvious?" the man replied. "Killing is the fastest way to get rewards and achievements. Everyone's doing it." Sungyoon looked around and saw that it was true. Teammates everywhere were fighting and killing each other. It was chaos. His teammates sneered, "Don't act like you're better than me. If you want to survive, you'll have to fight." Although Sungyoon didn't want to kill unnecessarily, he knew he couldn't trust anyone here. This was no place for kindness. As the trial went on, Sungyoon witnessed just how cruel people could be. Two players shook hands, promising to work together, but one suddenly stabbed the other. "You should have been more careful," the attacker said coldly, earning the Dirty Murderer achievement. Not long after, Sungyoon's teammate turned on him, trying to land a fatal blow. But Sungyoon was faster. He dodged the attack and countered, earning the Traitor achievement. He hated how the tower forced people into these situations, but knew he couldn't hesitate if he wanted to survive. Later, he encountered a water magic user who tried to trap him in a magical barrier. The man laughed, thinking Sungyoon was helpless, but Sungyoon broke through the barrier with sheer force, knocking the man down. Other challengers, seeing Sungyoon's strength, ran away in fear. Sungyoon had just begun capturing his assigned tile, following the trial's rules. He felt confident, knowing he only needed to defend the area for the remaining time. But his peace didn't last long. Suddenly, the system announced that the capture process had been interrupted. Someone had entered the tile. Sungyoon turned to see not one, but 4 challengers stepping into his territory. He frowned, confused. 4 people in a 2-person trial? He muttered. "What's going on?" One of the intruders sneered and said, "You're not imagining things. We formed a team. We're here to earn achievements, and you're just unlucky enough to be in our way. Prepare to die." Sungyoon quickly realized that the group had banded together to exploit the trial's system. By working together, they could overpower their opponents, gain achievements, and collect rewards from those they killed. Before Sungyoon could respond, 2 members of the team charged at him. One swung a sword with all his strength, aiming for Sungyoon's head. But Sungyoon, sharp and quick, dodged the attack and retaliated with a swift punch to the attacker's chest. The second member, a mage, activated a skill called Heart Solidarity. A purple glow appeared around the mage and another teammate, linking their pain. The system notified Sungyoon, due to the heart solidarity skill, damage taken by one participant will also be felt by the other. Sungyoon's face hardened. So, hurting one of them hurts the other too, he muttered. One of the team members threw seawater at Sungyoon. As soon as the water touched him, the system alerted him. Penalty applied, strength decreased by 10, agility decreased by 10, stamina decreased by 10. Penalty time, 3 minutes. Sungyoon winced. Even the water here works against me. This isn't good. The attackers smirked, thinking they had the upper hand. They planned to weaken him further by stealing his weapons and forcing him into a corner. But Sungyoon wasn't an ordinary challenger. He noticed their plan and waited for the right moment. When one attacker charged again, Sungyoon dodged and grabbed the man by the face. With a powerful slam, he drove the man into the ground, earning the one-hit kill achievement. The mage, linked to the fallen attacker through heart solidarity, cried out in pain and staggered. Seeing the mage's vulnerability, Sungyoon lunged toward him. Just as Sungyoon was preparing for another move, something unexpected happened. One of the attackers turned on the mage, stabbing him in the stomach. "You're in my way," the traitor said coldly. The mage screamed in pain, and Sungyoon felt it too, due to the heart solidarity skill. He gritted his teeth, the shared pain making it harder to move. "You're no better than the rest of us," the traitor snarled at Sungyoon, holding the mage hostage. "If you take another step, I'll slit his throat." Sungyoon knew he had to act fast. Ignoring his own pain, he threw his shield with all his strength. It spun through the air and struck the mage's neck, decapitating him instantly. The heart solidarity effect ended as the mage died, freeing Sungyoon from the shared pain. The man swung wildly, but Sungyoon easily dodged the attack. Grabbing the sword with both hands, Sungyoon snapped it in half. "You wanted to experience what it feels like to slit someone's throat, didn't you?" Sungyoon said coldly. With one swift move, Sungyoon ended the fight, earning the Iron Blood Climber achievement. The system announced that the tile had been successfully captured. Sungyoon took a deep breath, his body aching but victorious. The four attackers had underestimated him, and now they paid the price. As he sat down to rest, he thought about the battle. The tower's trials were not just tests of strength, but also of morality. People were willing to betray, kill, and destroy each other for power. Do I look like a monster to them? Sungyoon wondered, but he knew one thing for sure. He would keep going, no matter what.